Welcome to Salcedo Paranormal. It is Wednesday, July 27th, 2022, and tonight I will be talking about haunted transportation hubs and haunted train stations this time around, since we did airports last time, um, end of last month. So I've already included all of the links in the stream chat, and I will include them in the episode description. I don't know if we'll get through all of them tonight, but I think it'll still be good to have them all there, and that way everyone can check them out and get whatever I missed. So, because I have other plans for the next few months, topic-based streams at the end of the month. So, um, as always, you can find the podcast, all the episodes of the podcast, along with links to social media, ways to donate, and ways to contact me at the podcast page, which is salcidoparanormal.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal dot podbean dot com. Always happy to hear from you all, whether you have comments or questions or topic suggestions or stories of paranormal experiences, whether they're your own or from others that you trust. Happy to share those either by reading them or having you join me on the show to talk about them. And as far as the plans for the rest of the week, Friday, I will be getting to the stories that I meant to get to last Friday for paranormal news. And then Sunday will be more true paranormal stories from the web. And then as of right now, it looks like next Wednesday, I'll be having Derek on again. And we'll be moving through summarizing and discussing another major Marvel Comics event. We're trying to get through the biggest ones, or at least the ones that seem to be the biggest. And to get caught up to present day, what's going on in the comics there at the moment. So it's a lot of picking and choosing events and figuring out which ones to leave out and which ones to cover. So, but looking forward to that and all these other shows. Um, and thank you all for being here. I see you all in the stream, whether you're listening to the stream live or if you happen to listen to it on the podcast or YouTube feeds. I'm getting close to 3,000 downloads on the podcast end and getting closer to 4,000 views on the YouTube channel. So, um, thank you all for your continued support and, and still listening to the show. So, I've already put the links in the stream chat channel, and so you can all check them out as we go if you'd like, or any other time once you copy them. And so, but I'm just going to be highlighting some of the places in these articles, and that's how we're going to do this episode. So, the first article here is from Art of Travel dot tips. I'd never heard of a dot tips before, as after the main words. But it seems like there's more and more different options now than there used to be. I remember when it was just .com or .edu or whatever. Anyway, that's not really the point here. But um, and this is the title of this article is, let's see here if I can find it. Seven creepiest haunted train stations and ever. So that's the last word in this article title. So I'm guessing they mean among many places. Yeah, this is one that covers different locations around the world. Um, now this first station is in Singapore. I'm not going to try to say the name. Uh, but this station apparently was built on ground that was once a cemetery, which is always It seems to happen so often, and yet it seems like you just would not want to do that for various reasons, but it happens. Um, and apparently, right after this place was constructed, the the hunting started not too long after. Um, and of course, the idea is that uh, people who or places that are built on these cemeteries are almost in a way asking for activity, in that there might be angering any spirits that happen to be resting there. At least the remains that happen to be resting there. So, as far as the sightings go here, this is in Singapore again. Like I said, headless creatures are sighted at midnight. Doesn't really describe what the creatures look like, if it's people, if it's not people. Um, I don't know. There's not much details on that, but just the idea of that would not be fun to see. There have even been footsteps heard running on top of moving trains. So, and that's the reports they say from that station. Now, this is a subway station. This next one is in China. Again, some of these names I'm not going to try to say because I don't want to mispronounce them terribly. Um, but apparently on line one of the subway station, this this place has seen 9 mysterious deaths, according to the article. Many people have. Um, it's apparently this claim is that people have been dragged away by invisible hands, which is terrifying, but also just how is that happening? They've been pulled off platforms. So this is. I'm wondering if this is more of a legend. It says they've been pulled off platforms to death. I don't know how that. There are witnesses to that, or what's going on there. Um, Apparitions have been seen there, and so let's see here. So yeah, this is apparently this is not a pleasant haunting, and there's been voices heard there as well. So let me see here. This next one is uh Addiscombe Railway Station in South London. So that's the UK, I believe. And this article says that you can't visit the station anymore. It was demolished in 2001, but apparently there was a apparition of a driver from the 1900s, and so he was alive in the 1900s. His spirit has been seen walking around the station, uh, and let's see here. So he's been seen around the sheds that are, I guess, part of that property, and he also moved through the trains at night. So I'm wondering with any of these places or cases where the place has been demolished, I always wonder what happens with the spirits there. If they stay or if they go or how that works. So let's see here. This next one they mention is Macquarie Fields in Australia. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. And so let's see here. Apparently, there are reports of people hearing screams at this location. Uh, Apparitions of a teenage girl. Um, and let's see here. So apparently, the story is that she screams. The screams are from this apparition that screams at midnight. Says locals have seen her pacing through the station at night, and says the researchers that have photographed the station found other figures in the pictures watching them. So apparently, that is there are multiple apparitions there. Uh, this is another one of those stations I'm not going to try to say the name of. This is in India. So this is part of what's amazing to me about this is all these stations. They are all around the world, and they're having um, the at least at the very least these legends associated with them. And if there's any kind of uh, if this is really happening, any of this is really happening at these stations. These are all over the world. So that is amazing to me. So apparently, this station is not in use anymore, at least as of the time of this article, and it's been abandoned for at least 42 years. Um, but people that have been there have reported seeing a woman in white, but it's not a dress exactly. It's I forgot how this word is said. It's Saree. Sorry, not sure, but kind of clothing from that area, I believe. But it's white, and no one knows whether the claims are correct. But people have said that uh, the spirit has killed a railway official. Of course, these things are always hard to say for sure, but still, you have your figure, your woman in white. That makes me wonder now if there are women in white all around the world, but just in different, not necessarily just in a dress, a traditional dress, because not everywhere has the same kind of clothing. So that could be. I wonder about that now. But let me see here. This next one is Panteones. Panteones. I'm not sure. Metro station in Mexico. Um, just for anyone that's wondering, I am half Mexican, but Spanish, but I do not know it, the language. So um, apparently, this station is near two cemeteries. At least it's not on top of them, but still, it has been. There are stories of places that are near cemeteries having activity. Uh, apparently, there is reported poltergeist activity at this station, which that would mean movement of objects, um, at least usually. But people have reported hearing footsteps and knocks on the wall, seeing shadow figures, and then when people approach the shadow figures, they just disappear. Screams are also regularly heard at night. Now I wonder though, seems like because trains can make some strange noises, including high pitched noises. So I don't know about that one. Uh, but anyway, uh, this is next one is Union Station in Phoenix, Arizona, I believe, in the U.S. And this one says that due to paranormal activities, it was closed in 1995. That's a lot to that must have been a lot going on there for it to be closed because of that, if that was the case. Um, but apparently this is all because of one apparition that is thought to be a poltergeist, which that word is kind of used for a lot of different things, but may just mean a spirit. Um, he's not dangerous, it says, but he uh, he likes to stay in the attic. Um, I guess maybe by saying poltergeist, maybe objects do move there. But yeah, there's not a lot of detail on that. I wonder if there's been sightings and then just objects moving here and there. That's not the most um, descriptive section on that station. But so yeah, that's that article, that first article, and I think we'll go through one more article, and then I'll leave the last two for everyone else to check out on your own, and go from there. So let's see here. Looking at the chat here. Thank you all for joining me tonight with this. This was a lot of fun to research and to listen to all these articles. And again, I would always recommend everyone join the Discord because people will put images in with the chat to go with the discussion. So, oh, okay, yeah. So there's this one link here that Derek put in, or the image. I guess it's not really a regular link, but it's covering the same one of these sightings. Paranormal groups claim teenage ghost haunting Sydney train station. Interesting. Uh, so yeah, these what amazes me, like I said, is there are these reports in all these places all around the world. Um, so yeah, um, yep, trains, snakes, dragons, and the sound. Yeah, yep. So some possible symbology there, and but yeah. So that's that first article, and I'm guessing when I go through this next one, there will be a few repeats that I'll just be able to skip. But so this next article here is from scoopwhoop.com. Let's see here. And this next one is title is 12 haunted train stations that will instantly give you cold sweat. These are a lot of these articles they have to basically describe or hint at what the type of article it is, I guess. But so yeah, let's see here. This next one, I'm looking at the yeah, see already I'm seeing some repeats here. But there's not all of them, so um let me check out ups the chat real quick again. And but see here. So I'll get to this article here and let me invert the colors. There we go. Better. Um the some of these websites have just a plain white background and it's too much. So um this next one is uh a station. It's a Sector 9 metro station in Delhi. Uh, and I'm not going to try to say the first name. DWARKA, Section 9 metro station in Delhi. Says that there's an apparition apparently of an angry woman that runs behind cars at night and sometimes even knocks on their doors of the cars, I guess, which is really that's a lot of energy. Um, and let's see here. It's reported. Some people think that the spirit somehow even is able to was able to murder uh someone. But let's see here. And this figure is seen a lot, mainly at night, apparently, by late night travelers. So um, this next one is station in Calcutta. I don't think it's the same one I'm thinking of. Kolkata. Um, let's see here. This is getting into stuff I don't want to get into. But there's some dark activity here, dark possibly connections. And so yeah, we'll skip that one. Um, Looking at the rest of this list here, this is reviewing some of the other ones I've already covered. Okay, here's one that we haven't talked about yet. This is Connolly Station in Dublin, Ireland. And apparently, at the station, people have reported soldiers, apparitions of soldiers. And it says the station suffered bomb damage in an attack during World War II. Um, so apparitions of soldiers might make sense in a way. So looking through, yeah, there's a lot of repeats here. So maybe we will get to the third and fourth articles. Um, Now this next one is Waterfront Station, and that's in Canada. Um, and this station is said to be one of the most haunted buildings in, let's see here, doesn't say the city, but apparently it's supposed to be uh, known as one of the most haunted in this area. Apparently, people have reported uh, apparitions of women dancing to music and then disappearing all of a sudden. And footsteps have been heard around the area. Apparently, desks even rearrange themselves. I'm wondering if that's in front of people or not. That can make a difference. So, um, let's see here. This next station is Kimling Metro Station in Stockholm. And apparently, the construction of the place had to stop partway in the 1970s when paranormal activity were reported there. And it was reopened later on, finished and opened later on, but there's still problems in operation. I wonder. Sounds like there's just so much there that they don't even. There's not even one specific, I guess, certain thing that happens there. I don't know. Um, and that's it for this article. Again, this has some repeats in it, but you can still check it out. So, and I think that means we will get to these other articles. So, that is the one thing that you'll find when you try to do something like this. You'll find 3 or 4 articles, and but they'll have some repeats, but that's okay. Let's see here. Just looking, and okay. And so this next article is, let me see here. This one is 7 of London's most haunted underground stations. This is underground train stations. And this is from secretldn.com. I'm guessing that's for London. And let me just check on something here. And keep on going in one moment here. Um, so uh, everything sounds good so far. Um, and so okay, this article talks about these underground stations in the city of London in the UK. And let's see here. The first one they mention is Covent Garden. And this station opened, let's see here. Since this station opened, it says, there have been reports of a tall man in a hat and a cloak wandering the hallways of this place after dark. He's just scared some of the workers so much that they requested a move to a less haunted underground station. So I'm guessing there's just this feeling that comes along with the sighting. Uh, and People believe apparently they know who it is, who's an actor named William Terrace, uh, who was, according to this article, murdered in 1897. And he used to um, visit one of this bakery that's used to stand on the site of this station, and now walks around the hallways of the station instead. So, so yeah, that's the apparition seen there. Number two is Farringdon, and this says another. This is another one with screams. It seems to be a common thing among a lot of these stations. Apparently, there are screams heard around the station, echoing up and down the hallways, and reports of these are frequent enough through the years, so it seems like it's a common activity. Um, and it says the screaming is rumored to be the work of Anne Naylor, who was an apprentice hat maker that was murdered by her employer in 1758. Um, and obviously, this is far before any of these kind of underground train stations. And the reason for this activity that the article says is the station sits on the spot where her body was found. So, so that's the explanation for that one. Let's see here. The next one is Liverpool Station, and let's see here. So this one, of course, Liverpool is famous for at least among many people, for being where the Beatles started out. It's also, though, a location known to have other paranormal activity in general in the area. Um, Covered that a little while back with the time anomaly episode. So this station, um, let's see here. Many workers say they've spotted strange figures on the closed circuit TV system at night, and passengers have reported seeing a man in overalls pacing down up and down the platforms. And the station was rumored to have been built on a mass burial site. Now, of course, this says it's rumors, so we don't know. Oh, well then, apparently we do know though. Um, I haven't read this article in a while. Apparently, this turned out to be true. Uh, wow, as over 3,000 remains were discovered in 2015. They were okay. They were the remains of plague victims who had been buried there during the Black Death, the Black Plague, and so now the idea is that maybe some of them are responsible for the apparitions seen on the video cameras. That's a lot in one location. So, um, this next station is just called Bank. Um, and this is it says since the 19th century there have been sightings of a figure in black walking the passages of the bank station. And this is known to be more of a sinister apparition that is accompanied by a terrible smell, um, and sense of sadness that is also felt. And this is another one that apparently was built on a mass grave. And apparently it's a woman known as the Black Nun. Um, and apparently she's said to mourn the death of the execution of her brother, who worked at the old bank, apparently which gave the station its name. So let's see here. How we're doing? I can go on. I can finish this article at least. Got three more stations here. And this next one is Bethnal Green. Um, and this is um, let's see here. So the people that work here, the workers here, have heard uh, disembodied voices, children crying, women screaming, and the general sound of panic. It says usually the sounds start quietly and then rise to in volume basically until it's um, really loud. And apparently it can be it says dark, and for some reason I said cloak. Um, but apparently this is because of this event in 1943, and this was at this time was being used as an air raid shelter from the bombing that the UK was getting during World War II. So people were people were running into this, trying to get into the station, and so basically people started to panic, and this led to this stampede that, excuse me, killed several people in the process. So hoping those are just residual um, energies that are just playing out in that way. But there's two more here. Let me just take a moment here to get some water, and then I will be back. So one minute here. Okay. And so yeah, a lot of these are historic places. And of course every location has history of events that happened there. Um let's see here. So this next one is the name of it is apparently Elephant and Castle. Um and the so I'm just looking at the rest of this here. It says that this station might be one of the most haunted in the area. Uh Apparently there have been reports of weird tapping noises, footsteps, and they're made by invisible people, and then doors being thrown open without warning. But there is also an apparition of a young woman that is seen boarding trains but never appears to leave them. And but with this one, there's no obvious explanations for why or what where this apparition started from or came from. And the last one in this article here is British Museum slash Helborn. And so this this is a museum apparently, Uh, well, it says no trains have been through the abandoned British Museum station in over 80 years. Uh, so, but there's this apparition that has been seen there that is apparently negative, and well, this is something. The people that know the area believe that the tunnels in the station are haunted by the spirit of the Egyptian god Amun-Ra. Amun-Ra. That is quite the claim. People have blamed him for the disappearance of two women from the neighboring station in 1935. Says there's a rumor that there's a secret tunnel connecting the Egyptian room at the British Museum to Halborn, and it suggested that this spirit of this god has been using this tunnel to travel to Halborn and kidnap, take people back to his underground lair. Um, this one is that's a first. I've never heard of an actual supposedly a god from another country. I missed that part of this article when I read it the first time. So that surprised me. Um, so but that goes back again to these ideas I think of these objects that are found in places and brought taken halfway around the world, and then what kind of energy um, is also travels along with those objects, whether it is the spirit of a person attached to them or maybe even someone that um, at one point in time was considered to be an ancient god. That's one of those things where it almost kind of sounds like too much, but then given everything else we talk about here, um, I it's not that far out. So, um, and I think I will leave this last article. Let's see here. How long is it? I'm looking. Yeah, I think I'll leave this last article here. Um, but I'll include it in the episode description for you to check out. This one is about um, New York City and the haunted subway system there. So, um, but I think I've read through enough for tonight. And so I think that's where we'll stop. So thank you all for being here and listening. Um, and also being here for the live chat. Um, again, definitely recommend uh, joining the Discord to be here for the live streams when possible, and just to see all the images that people put out in the during the live chat. So, thank you all again, and I will be back here on Friday with paranormal news. So, until then, until Friday, I will talk to you on the next episode of Salcedo Paranormal.